Okay, so today we're working Reina. Keep going, Reina. She hasn't been ridden for like a year. So I want to make sure she's pretty tired before I get on, even though I've been working her. So signs of relaxation. One, putting their head up. Where's her head? One, putting their head down. So where's her head? Her head's up. It does go down for bits of time, but I don't think she's tired yet. This horse seems to have a lot of energy. Okay. Another one is licking her lips. She's done that, but she's not doing it right now. Another one is they would keep trying to walk, right? Well, she's trying to walk there. Her head goes down. So when their head goes way down, it's called bowing, in case you guys have never heard that. And what it is the horse is like, yes, ma'am, you're in control, or yes, sir, I'll do what you want. So the more they keep lowering their head, the better. See, there she goes. She's like, oh, now I know what I'm supposed to do. But if they're not lowering their head at all and their head's way up in the air, I wouldn't get on them. You want to calm them down. Now, each horse is different, so some you can wear out, and some, they're too sensitive, and if you chase them too much, you actually make them more hyper. So you got to do it right. You can't just chase them. You got to move them around, and the sensitive ones, you got to be still because you put them on overload. So you got to get used to them. They got to get used to it over time, okay? So it's not just about chasing them around. It's making lots of turns will tire them out. And I'm going to do a couple things with her today. But I just wanted to show you, she's not relaxed yet. So she's not ready for me to ride her. And you always want to prepare as much as you can, because sometimes you only get one chance to prepare them, and then it's, holy shit, hang on, here we go. Okay, now Reina's getting tired, so this is like 10 minutes later. So things I do is, watch, I'm gonna jump, because I want to see if they spook. If they're still spooking with that, well, then they're not ready to get on, because something's gonna jump out, you know, a bunny, a deer, something. So if they just walk when I do that, that's a good sign that they're getting ready. So I keep doing it. She seems fine. She seems tired. And I'm going to crack my whip again. So that's good. I want her to kind of ignore it. Good girl. And you might be like, well, then you're not getting her sensitive to the whip. No, I just want her, this is a tool. So I want her to move when I want her to move. But otherwise, I want her to be like, oh, it's just a noise and I'm so freaking tired, I can't go. Okay, that's a good sign. So she's putting her head down more. She keeps trying to walk. And so we're getting there, okay? But I'm still gonna saddle her up and lunge her with all that stuff on too before I get on, because we wanna make sure she's really settled and she has a good experience, not a bad experience. So her head's not on the ground, but she's like, it will be. Okay, she's like, can I come in? All right, so now let's see if she'll join up with me. So Reina's not really trustful of people. She'd rather be by herself or with another horse than me. So let me see if I can get her to come. And there's a jackrabbit over there. The jackrabbit's coming over, right? Jackrabbit? Okay, the phone fell. Maybe that's better. She did start coming over. You want to come with me? Come on. So I just want her to know it's better to be with me. If she goes away, like, see how she just went away? That's okay. Again, you can use cookies some of the time, but at some point the horse has to come to you without the food. So I wanted to see every time she goes away from me, she's got more work. And if she was fresh, well, then this wouldn't work so well. But when they're tired, this works much better. So you're always trying to do things that will help you get the right answer, not make it harder, okay? So you prepare them. So I'll see when she gets over here. So I'm going to do the same thing. Every time she leaves me, I'm going to run her around. Reina. So she said, I just want to get out the gate. I don't care where Gaye is. So let's see if she does it again. Good girl. Come on. Come on, Reina. Good job. Good job. Good girl. And she's okay with things on her left side. She doesn't like it on her right so much. And remember, why is that? Because nobody does stuff on the horse's right side. Everybody's doing stuff on the left. See how she went away? Because she chose, she said, Gaye, you're all right, but I don't like you that much. I'm getting out of here. It's not once around that I'm going to make her go. It's 3 to 5 times around, because you got to make them want to come to you. Once around doesn't make them tired enough. So every time she chooses that gate, I'm going to make her run. Now this is the hard part. I'd like to get her saddled up and ride her. But we got to fix all the little holes, because then what's the difference? Do you want to come? Reina? Reina? Good girl. You want to come to me, or do you want to go to the gate? Come on. Good girl. You can go to the gate. I don't care if you go to the gate. You want to go to the gate? Good girl. So she's got to see the gate is not the place to be. The place to be is with me, because I'm just going to walk around. It's not a big deal. But if you lose me, then off you go. Come on, Reina. Now, she thought about it that time, but she didn't go. Good girl. Do I want to make it nice for her to be with me? Good job. And I still want to work on the side she doesn't like, or the right side. Okay, come on, Reina. Now, see how she left? Okay. So every time she makes the wrong answer, I'm going to make it uncomfortable for her. So I want her to go faster. What do you want to do? Go faster. Because if she just walks and goes slow, well, the point's not going to get across to her. Remember, 3 to 5 times. If I did this and I waited till it was all fixed in videos, well, you wouldn't learn anything from it. Now you can run them around, you can come up with stuff, but again, if every time they went away from you, something really scary happened to them, they would choose to be with you instead. You want to come? Hi. Good. And again, I'm tempting her. I keep walking by the gate. It's not like I'm avoiding it. I'm like, sure, go to the gate. I don't care, Reina. You can leave. You don't want to leave? I wouldn't want to leave either if that happened to me. So I keep turning. And she has every option to leave me if she wants to. Because again, she has to make the decision to be with me. If I just hold her on the rope all the time, of course she'd be with me. But then she's not making the decision. She doesn't say, oh, I like her. So that's why they stay in herds. That's why they follow the lead mare, because that lead mare keeps them safe. But she also gets after them if they're bad. So just think, if she was in a herd, she would not leave. Because if she left, she'd most likely die, because she'd get picked off by a mountain lion or coyotes or wolves or something, depending where she lived. Good job. Good job. That was the right decision. Good girl. Good girl. So since I'm not using cookies right now, I'm going to give her a nice scratch. Because what do horses like to do to each other? They scratch or imitate what they do. Once you find a good spot, they never want to leave. Now I want to scratch her on the other side too. Because I want to make this side be good. So they like it around the withers, usually in that kind of V spot of their neck. Remember, they don't have fingers. I love people who have fingers and know where their itchy spots are. Okay. It's hard because I have to do a lot of different things with this horse. She thought about leaving. I can see her shadow. She's getting a little further away. So again, that's a little bit of a test. Like, do I have to stay with you? I don't care, Reina. Go where you want. Good girl. Good job. Now remember, you might have a horse that's super friendly and they joined up like this right away. Remember, somebody put in the hard work, either when they were a baby or they were older. So So if you're talking to your friends like, I don't understand what you're talking to about, your horse doesn't trust you, like all trust? No, you have to build their trust. So either you do it or somebody else does it, okay? Now she kind of went towards that gate. I was talking and got distracted, so I went there too. So let's see if she leaves. I'm gonna go straight at the gate. I really want to tempt her. Like, did I do a good job or not? I did? Oh yeah. I was doing it because you got the video on. Well, let's try it again. So now let's go the other way, Reina. She left me a little bit. So again, with all the things you do with the horses, you're trying to get them to make the right decision. And so if you don't give them a chance to make a decision, right or wrong, they'll never learn. So if I don't give her the chance to leave me, she'll never learn that staying with me is better. So if your horse, say, is dominant, likes to be in the front, if you always let him be in the front, well, he wins, right? Yeah, he wins. So you got to teach him to be in the back, and you got to make it uncomfortable in the front. Good to be in the back. So it's the same with anything. You got to follow a horse. What do? You make it uncomfortable to be in the back. You make it more comfortable in the front. So with most of the things with these horses, you just have to think, and you're trying to make it easy for them to make the right answer. But you have to know the concept first, and why would they make the right answer, right? So let's test her again, because we stood here for a bit. She thinks she's smarter than me. When I do the turn, she's like, she's going to turn to the right because I can read that lady's body language. So she's like, I'll just stand here and wait for her to turn. Okay, good girl. So she still did a good job. So now we're going to try some other stuff in here. I'm going to get her used to me moving around her and her standing still. So with this one, I'm going to put the rope on her so I can catch her if she takes off. Where are you going? She's like, I don't want that rope. So she's kind of blocking the video. But if I go to catch her and she runs away, I'm going to keep her running. Oh, you're not going to run away. Okay. So we want to get her used to me moving around and her just standing here, and that might be a little hard for her. She's good with desensitizing with objects, but I don't know how she's going to be with me moving around her, because again, her problem is a little bit trusting people, which is one of the other horses' problems. Her, I want to try and stay as close to her back end as possible, don't I? Because I saw what you can do. Job. Okay, so first establish that I want you to stand here. So if she kept moving, I'd probably just back her up and put her back in the same spot. But you can do different things. You can turn them. It just depends how old the horse is. You don't want to hurt them by spinning them around too much or backing them up too much. Now, we don't really know how much trail mileage she had. So see how she just was a little snotty with me? So I'm like, no, can't do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna pat her. Because people always pat horses, right? The horse might not like it. She's kind of twitchy back there. So every time she twitches, but she's twitchy, aren't you? Then I'm just doing it again. So if she doesn't switch, I'll move on. She does not like me switching around there, do you? Yeah, you wouldn't think a horse that had been ridden would be twitchy if he patted it, but she is. Okay, so let's do this again. That side's good. Good girl. So one more time. It's better to overdo it. Now, of course, people don't want to do this because it's boring. It's much better to find out they have a problem when you're on them and get bucked off, right? So it's best, that was a joke if you didn't get that, it's best to do as much as you can on the ground so you're safe and get them used to everything. But remember, especially in the gated world, a lot of people don't do that. They're getting better, the trainers are getting better, and they're doing a better job at doing the groundwork. Okay, so now she's not as twitchy, so that means I'm almost done with this part. Okay, so now we're just going to walk around and I'm just going to move my hand. Stay. Stay. So see how she moved away, so I'm just going at her. Good girl. So she understands, oh, if you run away from me, I'm just going to move towards you. Okay? Good girl. Let's try it again. So it's great to find that out when you're on the trail. Somebody just comes walking up behind you and the horse runs away. Because if she can't tolerate me, why would she tolerate some random hiker coming up? Good girl. Okay, so we'll start a little slower so we won't wave our hand, we'll just walk. Good girl. Good job. So I'm trying to walk far enough away because I've seen this horse leap through the air and kick out at things she wants to get away from. So she's more of a fighter than a runner. Yeah, actually she's a runner and a fighter. She kind of leaps in the air, kicks at it, and then runs away. And that's just because she doesn't know. So she's like, get it away from me. And I'm like, the only way it gets away from you is to stand still. Good job, Reina. Good girl. Good job. Good job. So I'm going to keep approaching her on this right side because she doesn't like it over here. Hi. Yeah, that was the right answer. I'm going to give her a little scratch and then I'm going to walk around her some more. And we're going to try and get her saddled up, but we might not have 5 hours to do this. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, so now we're going to go the other way. Good girl. So I turned away from her, not at her. Okay. Just like you saw in the other video, I just tell them to stay like they're a dog. It also teaches her how to ground time. You can't let your horse put its head down below its knees while you're doing this, because if you do, it'll just wander away because it starts to follow its nose. No. Now that one wasn't bad. She turned towards me, kind of follow me. Okay. Good girl. So she didn't run away from me, that's why I didn't chase her. So you got to know the difference. If she tries to follow you and you chase her, well, then that whole joining up you just ruined. Stay. Good girl. Stay. So I'm just showing how to correct her, and there's a random dog wandering around. Right? The more distractions, the harder this is to do. Okay? So you got to pick somewhat of a quiet area. Good girl. So you seen I got a little bit further away from her. Good girl. Girl. So I'm trying to show her this is an easy thing to do. All you gotta do is just stand here and catch your air. I'm gonna get a little bit further. I know the dog's distracting me too. Stay. Good girl. So now let's go back to see if I can wave at her. Good girl. You okay? So we'll let her see this first because she's pretty good with the desensitizing when it's here. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Had somebody do something like this and they did her. Girl. Girl. Good job. Good job. Good job. Right? I was thinking a damn beginner horse would be cold. Girl. You never know, so if you don't go when you go to see these horses and test them, and maybe she was fine, maybe it's the year off, so who knows. But you always want to test it as best as you can, doing weird stuff. Good job. Good job. So she's trying to put me in her sight line. I'm just going to keep doing this. You didn't move too much. You see her moving? Now she didn't move a lot. So I'm going to see if she'll just tolerate me doing this instead of me chasing her around again. Good girl. I keep telling her she's a good girl so she knows she's doing the right thing, right? Good girl, stay there. Good job. Oh, Reina. That one was pretty good. Good girl. But you saw her lick her lips right before she did it. Remember, when you do this stuff, you gotta be relaxed. Can't be scary when you're doing it in the beginning. So relax, breathe. You're just pretending you're just walking around her paddock like you're not doing anything. Good girl, Reina. Good. So what am I doing? I'm coming to the right side. I'm going to scratch her. Her story was she was a brood mare, right? And then maybe a trail horse for a bit. Huh? So now we're gonna try walking around this direction. You gotta do both ways. Good job, isn't it? You know, so maybe she never had any human friends. Maybe it was just all horse friends. Then she was saddle broke and, you know, ridden, and that was about it. Good girl. So now she knows what to do. She's better. She's still moving, but that's okay. And it's timing, and you gotta know when to chase them, when not to chase them. Good girl. Good job. Keep going to her right side. Good girl. Now she's got a leg cocked back there, her head's down, she's relaxing, and she goes, oh, I guess this is an easy job. Stand here. Alright, so we're going to try it one more time. Good girl. Girl. No. I was going to stop. I thought, no. You're trying to join up with me? Hang on. No, I don't think she's afraid. I think she thinks she was supposed to come with me. Because I got closer. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm going to take the rope so she knows when she's supposed to come to it. Okay. So she still has a choice. She could run away. Yeah, she did quite good for today. Now we're working over, climbing over trees. I didn't see any trail video that you had on her. They're doing chainsaw, so they're busy with that. So I want to make sure the horse knows how to do it without you on him first. Before we do it, we'll go over this one again. So she's busy listening to the chainsaw, which is normal for a young horse. So she's good getting over it. We're going to go over a bigger one. So now we're going to try and get her over this one. And we got the chaps on her, so they'll hit her. Maybe she'll do something crazy with them. Maybe she won't. Okay, so now we're coming up on a gully. I like to do this on the ground so the horse knows what to do. Many come to this and they jump it. What you want the horses to do is actually walk through it so the owner doesn't go flying off. What do you think, Reina? Don't jump on me. And I'm trying to steer her, but hold the phone. So she goes over there. Come on. Looks like she's gonna jump. Oh, no, good girl. Come on. You got it. Oh, a little bit of a jump. Not bad, but we'll do it over and over. Easy. Good girl. Come on. You gotta do it. Good girl. Okay, so she doesn't seem real comfortable with gullies. You know, the ones that have done this before, they don't run through it. And they don't snort. Come on. Come on. And they don't not go through it. Good girl, come on. Good job. See, that was much better. So you just make them do it over and over again until they just walk it. Just like anything. You don't do it right, you got to do it 20 times. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Hey, good girl. And then when she does it right a bunch of times, I'm going to let her graze as a reward. She's like, yeah, I don't want to do this for free. Come on. Good girl. Well, I want to be sure they know how to do this well. Good girl. You're going too fast. They don't know how to do it. When you get to another one, they jump it. Come on. So practice what you're going to need them to do. Good girl. Not yet. Like they told me you'd say it wasn't good enough. Good girl. Good job. So that was good. She did nice and calm. Okay, now you can come. So we've been practicing. Good girl. See, now she understands. Yeah, now you get a treat. So now we're walking around with all her tack on, getting her used to everything, and then my chaps are gonna fall off of her. So I have 2 pairs to imitate my legs, and the other pair hopefully will fall off. Oh, let's fix it so it doesn't. It's a big deal, but you might want to get off on the right side. You might drop something on the right side. Horse has to be used to this stuff, and people don't do this. Let's make a circle so maybe it'll fall off. Sometimes they throw it up there too good. Yeah. Let me fix it again, Reina. Right side, because of course that's the spookier side for most horses. Good job. So she's no longer killing it. Good job. Then that means she's no longer fearful at the moment, right? We got to do it a lot more though. But I do it from the right more because most people have not done much on the right. And see, I'm kind of leaving her so she's not too close. Come on. She's like, no, they're going to fall off. I don't want them to fall off. Now that one, she spooked out a little bit because it hit the pooper scooper, which is the scooping thing on the back. So that one wasn't good. So you're not getting a treat. We're just going to do it again. Come on. But at least she's not trying to run from it, and she's not trying to kill it anymore. Good job. Yep, and then you look at the person and you go, why did you fall off? Reina's like, okay. So this is a good exercise to do too if you've ever fallen off your horse and your horse takes off, right? Takes off running and then goes somewhere. Do this over and over again, especially if you have bad balance, so they just get used to it. Okay. Good job. Now you look and you tell them you need riding lessons. She's like, okay, I think I'm getting all this, Gaye. We're down at the road. It's not super close, but you can hear all the noises. So trucks and trailers and all sorts of things go by. And we'll see how she does. But this is how I get them used to it before riding them next to the stuff on the road, because we have FedEx, UPS, Amazon, and they just fly by us sometimes. We got the weed whacker down there somewhere. So I heard it, so I brought her over. I'm sure you have a weed whacker at your house, but still, right? We still want to make sure, so we're going to hang out for a bit.